we measure every piece of answer that is the top 10 that we provide the AI. We give it a distance from like how accurate it is, right? So sometimes you as an admin can see an answer that the machine gave, and then below it can see 5 different service records or tickets and 2 knowledge base articles that were used in order to construct that answer, and also what is the power of each one of them. So we fully put the transparency around it, and being as an admin, you are able to understand the accuracy.
By popular demand, NetSuite has extended its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program for a few more weeks. Head to netsuite.com/IonAI. That's IonAI, EYEONAI, all run together. Again, head to netsuite.com/IonAI. netsuite.com/IonAI for its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Hi, I'm Craig Smith, and this is Eye on AI. Today, I speak with Avi Kedmi, the CEO of SysAid. Avi shares insights on the evolution of AI in IT service management, discussing how SysAid leverages AI to transform service management through predictive modeling and generative AI. We explore SysAid's unique approach to automating IT services, reducing ticket volumes, and enhancing customer satisfaction. Avi also delves into the future of AI in IT and the potential for AI-driven automation. I hope you find the conversation as useful as I did. So, Avi, the way I start is by having you introduce yourself, give your background, how you got to SysAid, and for our listeners who might not be familiar with SysAid, explain the essence of what the company does.
20 plus years in what you call the high-tech industry. And through that, I would say one of the few things that I've done that's very relevant to, I think, the topics we're going to talk today is for about 7 years, I had a startup that I've opened and eventually was acquired by LivePerson. And that startup, main technology that was built is a predictive modeling that was allowing us in 2005, 2008 to provide value to customers that were trying to predict within behaviors of users online towards what they're going to do. So that's a bit about my background quickly on that front. And in 2012, I joined LivePerson and run the product teams in what we call the revolution from live chat to messaging, which we all message all day today. But in 2012, it wasn't understood and known for all like it is today. And a lot of the AI related was basically, I would call it a lot of the foundation around NLU and applications around it, and what it can do to conversational assistant into users. And about a year plus ago, I joined SysAid, and SysAid is a ITSM, ESM vendor. What is ITSM? ITSM is basically IT service management. It's not something that there's a saying, not every CEO knows what's their ITSM tool, but every CEO will sign eventually a check for an ITSM tool. Any company in the world that has more than 30, 40 employees, doesn't matter if they are gold mining or printing t-shirts or a high-tech company, eventually they have a system that is a help desk and a few more tools around it that support all of the employees when they connect with IT. So this is what we do. We're a long-standing vendor in this space. It's a highly, highly competitive space. And I joined SysAid. One of the primary reasons was I sensed that early 2000s, the revolution brought in by ServiceNow to the world of service management was around cloud, movement from on-prem to cloud. And now we are in the second revolution, which is the AI, and specifically the generative AI. And I felt like the opportunity here with SysAid that had thousands of customers across 142 countries in 42 languages is an opportunity to be a leader in this AI revolution. So I'll say a bit more just for a second. What is SysAid sweet spot? We play mostly on the mid-market, and our value compared to the others is mostly around ease of use, no code, and a lot of things that you can do just by drag and drop and working with the interface, compared to others that provide a lot more hand-holding to make things happen. So it's a value to money and ease of use as a focus, and last year also a lot around AI.
Yeah. So IT service management, that's providing systems for employees to interact with the IT department. Is that right?
Yeah. And it usually starts by the IT department, and then it grows to the HR department and to the finance department. As companies want to be service-oriented, they want to make sure everything is tracked and has a ticket associated to it versus just a jungle of emails going around.
Yeah. And so you have a product called SysAid Copilot that you position as a comprehensive AI suite for IT service management. Can you talk about the specific AI technologies powering SysAid Copilot?
Yeah. I'll tell a story before that, but
Sure.
so I will say my history with AI started with what I explained a bit before, the machine learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember it was somewhere around 2006 or 7. And this was the first time that the machine we've built around predictive modeling started to work after fine-tuning and moving it from MATLAB to Java. And that moment where you see the power of AI and the inside of it is usually something that happens for people sometimes once in a lifetime, because you understand there's no limit to the machine. You give it thousands of parameters and their values, right? Linear or nonlinear. You provide outputs of where success is or not. And then a full model is built and could be refreshed every hour or so to predict a new user with their parameters, what will be the likelihood that their outcome will come. And I remember that moment. And the first time I was introduced to SysAid, I felt similar. This captured me because great AI is built with a great set of data and also a great set of actions that you can do with the data. If not, it stays high level just as a question and answers. So I'll say you talked about you asked about our product, the Copilot product. Why is that unique? It's unique because if we talk about the perfect match for generative AI, it is a world of service management, because the service management world holds all of the tickets, information, conversations between employees and IT service people. It includes also an IT person at the end summarizing the resolution. There's literally within the ITIL, the certification of how you do service management in IT, there's an area called solution resolution. You write how did you resolve it. There's also a full world in the system of knowledge base that throughout the years, companies built knowledge base around what is allowed to do with your computers or not, etc. And it includes also everything around workflows and automations and all actions around it. Let's say someone wants a new laptop and who needs to approve and where it's connect to budget, etc. And the last piece, it's all of these ITSM systems also have an install in all laptops across the org. It means it's a fully contained environment for AI with all the data needed to understand the issue and to fix the issue, and all of that while connecting to the end user with no human touch. So that's what we've built. What we've built is basically, I'll call it's a version 1 of our platform that takes all of this data in real time, also keeps updating it, and whether you are an agent that now is trying to resolve an issue, or whether you are an employee that now 6 a.m. You're a new employee and you want to ask a question and IT only opens up at 8, or you just want a fast answer, you just talk to this machine and it provides answers and actions for you. So
Yeah.
that's what we've built basically.
And that the central knowledge base is in the cloud, or how does the cloud play into that?
Yeah. So the knowledge base in the world of ITSM, it means the articles that are written by the IT team to help people in some sort of self-service portal to read and find how to resolve their issues or ask for requests. And that exists in the cloud, yes. And we connect through it because we hold all that knowledge base within our system. Now, sometimes there are clients where some of that knowledge base exists in SharePoint or in other environments, and our system allows you to connect and get access, and then we pull all of these 5 or 5,000 or 20,000 files, where the PowerPoint or Word docs or Excel, and we bring them into our platform ready for you when you have questions to get an answer and an action to it.
Yeah. I mean, you started this journey long before generative AI, and even the predictive work that you were doing started before the validation of deep learning. So you've seen this this transition in this category that people refer to as AI. A co-pilot is using large language models. Does it have a conversational interface for users?
Yeah. So if we talk about a vision that is conversational, right? So the vision is around being able, as an employee or as an agent that helps IT agent, to have conversational, not only textual, but also voice, right? And large language models today provide a really unbelievable experience around it. I recall, call it even 3 or 4 years ago, when in my previous place that I worked, how hard was it to provide an AI that was smart in NLU and being able to have a conversation that is powerful. It had to have a lot of training sets. It had to understand much better the context. And still at the end, it provided an okayish, experience for users. And there was always this joke: if you take more than 3-4 minutes, you can break it. It's easy to find a way to break it, right? Yeah. And I think the large language model just nailed it completely, right? It's very hard to break them, again, in the context of where we are, not in the context of asking really weird question, not relevant, but in the context of where we are, it's just very hard. And if you equip them with a large set of data ready for them in the right way, and again, in actions, they do a very good job. I would say in most cases, they don't miss. So I think that the power of what we're seeing now is applications on top of large language models that are providing, in my experience through many years, an extreme value to businesses. Think about it today. If someone using our system in 7 a.m. in the office and the heater is not working, and they open a ticket, what's going on? It's freezing here, right? Someone answers them, hey, people are on it, few hours, it's going to be fixed. Second person coming 10 minutes after, asking the same question, the AI will know to give an answer back and to converse on it and to explain that there's people on it and to understand that there's, by the way, it's going to take few hours, but that's an estimation. That's not again, like there's a lot today that you could just see about the future coming today. And conversationally, if we talk about the future, which can be done largely today by large language models, is imagining an agent waking up in the morning and his work is launching small AIs that are just running and doing his job while he strategizes, right? Think about them waking up in the morning and going to their interface and clicking a button and saying, ticket 663, I don't understand what's going on with their Microsoft Teams. Reach out to the user, be nice to them. They just came back from a holiday, I know that. And find a way to restart or reinstall, see if it doesn't solve, go back to the Windows machine, help me to find the solution, and come back to me when you're done with it. And you just ship these small things that are taking actions, and they take the time and they connect with users. So I think these large language models are a true revolution where there is a potential on an AI contained environment.
Yeah. And are you building on top of a private model that you access through API, or have you taken an open source model that you fine tuned? What's happening in the background?
Yep. We did a lot of research as we started, and what we've seen, and it's so far, is that the models out there, the LLM that are out there, they are really powerful, and they're improving almost on a monthly or quarterly basis. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes I'll be provocative a bit. I know sometimes there's some companies that keep saying that they're investing, they're going to build their own models, and I'm not sure it's wrong. I'm just saying that their chance today to beat OpenAI or some other models, it just does not exist. Mm-hmm. And these models include today a large set of data that is powerful, and also the speed of how they give you back the answer is powerful. So we are fine-tuning where we need to our world for IT. Our prompts are very relevant to what an agent would expect or what a end user would expect. But overall, we have a process here at the company where every month or two, we are checking not only what's out there, but also truly checking the data with existing models like Gemini and others that are new lately. For now, I would say OpenAI is beating everyone. I don't know if it will be forever like that, but it's clearly something that will still heavily more on OpenAI. The results and the performance are for us are solid.
Yeah, and then for the knowledge base, can you walk me through onboarding a new customer? And I would imagine that they have to do a certain amount of data prep to get all of the IT manuals and that sort of thing into a format that the LLM can use. Do you help? I mean, first of all, I guess, do you help on that data prep?
Yep. So I would say we have a process to make sure that the client knows what they need to upload and what's the minimum that they need to share with us if they're a new client. But I would say the power of what we have today has two elements to it. The first is not like the past. Today, even if it didn't upload anything, there's a lot of knowledge outside with LLMs that from day one you can have. Right? So, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of companies that there is a repeating theme of like Microsoft Teams, connectivity to their earphones and issues around it, right? So not sure you need to upload a document for it. What you have outside can solve it for you even before that. But I would say when we built this platform, and if I can give it as an advice to others in different fields related to Gen AI, people tend quickly to just, build up something that calls OpenAI or other models and get like great answer and be okay with it. And what I've learned is that the flexibility people expect related to AI is always greater than you would imagine.
Yeah.
So because of the risk and because of the power of what AI can do to their business for good and bad. So what we've built we built a platform that, one, allows you to connect any like data sources you have today, like a SharePoint or other knowledge base area, where we can fetch the information on our own and take that hustle from you. We also, within this, allow you to add any kind of website or internal information that's out there via HTMLs or public websites, that all that documentation, all that information is digested within our system. And of course, we explain to you what's the best way to summarize tickets in order for the AI to work well with them. So everything around what we call the data pool is a key part, where we're allowing you to decide what do you want as a source of information and what do you don't want to be part of it. And it's mostly drag and drop. And like I said, SysAid it plays in the mid-market, and the mid-market is all about time to value and ease of use versus a lot of hand-holding and many partners that needs to write code for you. On the other side, what do we do with that? We take these documents and we've built a process that smartly understand for each type of these documents what to do with it. So some documents can be policies that are 50 pages, right? And we cut them to pieces and we understand the titles and we summarize each area and we hold them in vector databases, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them could be Excels, where you need to understand what is this Excel, what's the meaning, and how you store it differently, whether it's through columns or through rows, etc. And also everything around the tickets data, right, that has a lot of sets of information. We're treating it not just like take all the data as summarized. We're treating it of where do we take the data that has the resolution? Where do we take the data that summarize everything around it? Where do you see that there was code associated with it that you now we need to separate it in a way that we're going to offer different things around it? So each one of these pieces in our world, there's pre-processing that is happening to support our way to eventually serve you the right answer at the right time.
That's fascinating. So, and all of that is automated. So the user has an interface and drags and drops documents into the interface, drags and drops Excel sheets, drags and drops URLs. And then in the background, SysAid, your systems process that information depending on the format, or is there a human that's who's sort of managing that? On how much of that is automated, I should say?
I would say 99% is automated. Just because, again, we play at, we sell to schools where the IT manager is also the one supporting the people, is also the one that is buying the computer. There's 3-4 people that do it all in many aspects. And with that, we have to make it automated. So it's fully automated. And like I said, the product itself, even before AI, controlled a lot of information. So as someone buys the system, the first moment they get the first ticket, that's a new data coming in. And the second ticket is a new data. So for example, I'll share an example how AI is powerful in the world of, let's say, an existing clients that already have 5,000 tickets and knowledge base and workflows, etc. And now when a ticket comes in, we can automatically categorize it to the right category. And how do we do it? We go and look at all of the tickets in your history, and we say, and we ask with the help of the LLM for these tickets, how to connect the information to the decision of the user to put it in a category like hardware or software or a mouse, right? And we find through that the understanding of what was driving the decision to call this or to specify a specific category for it, and we use it when a new ticket is created. So what you see today is this allows now people to no longer click create a ticket and select category, select subcategory, give it a title, give it a summary, understand its urgency. These things takes a lot of time. And people, they're just like you and me. They're natural. They will just say, I would like a new mouse.
Yeah.
And then everything in the back does it for them. So if that makes sense. I want to elaborate a bit about the world that we've built, but also some sort of, again, if this in this podcast is also what kind of tips and tricks for people that are building future apps on Gen AI.
Mhm.
When I was younger, I thought, wow, the AI is doing such a great job. Why is human in the middle? Right? How can it be? And I still remember this person that was key part of building this algorithm. He said, it's a monster that's doing amazing, but sometimes it can miss something very small that's in front of them. And that lesson taught me that any AI machine you put out there has to come also with the ability to fine tune it, with the ability to say to it, what do you want to make sure that's not going to be okay? Or to say, or to fine tune it because you're saying, you want to say to the machine, you're doing a great job, but can you have shorter answers?
Mhm.
Can you make sure they're not too technical? Can you make sure they're not too technical related to technical aspect? Can you make sure that you give less links and more give in the description? Or you may say, can you make sure you don't talk about our competitors? Can you, like, you can just talk to it as a
Yeah.
machine. And that's a big part of what we've built as part of the platform, is the ability to really monitor and fine tune and see everything. And it's amazing. You can see today the generative AI basically doesn't take an answer and we just tell it, write it better,
Mhm.
right? You provide to it the top 10 answers you believe are the right one. And you say, look at it and construct an answer. And the power of that construction is where we see the power of the large language models coming to play.
Yeah, and that ability to uh, tweak the model or add to its prime prompt or system prompt, uh, is that, do you give that ability to the user, or that's internal to SysAid? I mean, each user, uh, do they are they able to uh, ask the model to uh, give shorter answers, for example, or less technical answers, or is that done at the SysAid level?
So it is on the user level. Any kind of an admin that manages the SysAid account within their environment has the power to decide it. It's
Hmm.
not something we control, they can decide. But again, the way we've built it for them is that it's, if 5 years ago you would say you do regex, right? If someone is asking about security, then don't do that. And then you had to do typos, security with a typo, security with that, secure. And now you can just say to him anything around security topics is. So we've built it in a way that these admins, they speak freely with the machine and they tell her what are the set of rules they believe they want to make sure that the system is not allowing to happen. So
Yeah. How do you ensure the accuracy and relevance of the responses? I know you mentioned vector databases, but in the background, is there anything else that you're doing to ensure, to guard against hallucinations and that sort of thing?
yep. So it's a good question. And it's so I would say a couple of things. The first is we measure every piece of answer that is the top 10 that we provide the AI. We give it a distance from like how accurate it is, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes you, as an admin, can see an answer that the machine gave, and then below it, it can see 5 different service records or tickets and 2 knowledge base articles that were used in order to construct that answer, and also what is the power of each one of them. So we fully put the transparency around it, and being as an admin, you are able to understand the accuracy. Now, here come some of the tricks that we're doing, tricks in a good way. There's a difference. It's all about the experience at the end, right? OpenAI not only are providing today good answers, but also if you look at their interfaces, they provide an experience that you feel comfortable, right? And it's not, you can't say the same on all of these LLMs, right? And so we put a lot of focus on the experience. So if you are connected to a chatbot, I expect from you to always get an answer. Sometimes the answer could be, I don't know how to help you. But let's say you have another channel, which is email. Let's say someone opens an email and just write in the subject, hey, I don't understand what's going on. My computer is slow. It sucks, right? If you look at that, in this case, the AI will get the score. And if it's not from internal information, it will not take the risk to give you an answer that is not sure about. So the way we play with accuracy is also cross channels. Some channels we're more relaxed on the accuracy because it's a conversation. We can be more relaxed around it. And some channels, when people get it in front of them in an email, as an example, as the AI take action, we only with higher scores we would give you an answer. So we count the scores between 0 to 100, and anything that is used as an answer from outside information is automatically counted as lower score, right? Because we trade off always the inner information of the company.
And you said the admin has the ability to sort of train through reinforcement learning, I would guess. Is that they can look into the system at any particular time and check answers and maybe choose between different answers, or is that something that someone is doing on an ongoing basis, or is it sort of spot checking?
I think it's more ongoing basis. They need to put a process to themselves, once a week to take a look and see that they feel okay. But in the past, systems like that had like a very long rule-based, regex-based, right? That at some point it wasn't manageable. The approach we took is to fine-tune the machine by talking to the machine. To fine-tune the machine by talking to it. Just like some sort of in a relationship, I would say to someone that I care about, I would say, I would like next time for you not to talk about this topic, or for you to make sure you bring more facts when you put a perspective, right? So there's no way for you to have a rule base where you see the 10 rules you decided in terms of like the fine-tune guardrails. We have it like that, but it's more you talk to it. You can look at the answer and just write below it, general note to the machine, I'd like you to do ABC next time. And it will automatically use it as a prompt related to these topics and allow you now to keep seeing the results that you're expecting. That talking to the machine is fascinating. Some things that you weren't able to even dream about them, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it really is remarkable. And you said you play in the mid-market. Why is that? Why not go after Fortune 500, Fortune 100?
The service management space, according to Gartner, and again, if I'm not mistaken, is now about $10 to $12 billion a year, addressable market growing to 17 billion plus in the coming years. It's a massive market, and I think that everybody needs to find their spot where they're the strongest. Like I said, it's a world where a lot of competitors play in it, and I think the future will bring SysAid to go up also, but for now, we believe that this is a place where we can shine above all. We're trying to call it AI to all, because at the end, a lot of these AI that is provided to companies today is served with complexity,
Yeah.
right? Served with high maintenance, right? I used to I used to remember going to companies about a year ago when we started this, and I said, "This is going to be amazing. I want to talk to you about it." And said, "Is it going to be like RPM that it comes with the 3 full-time developers forever?" And that
Yeah.
plus the cost of the software is less than how much it costs to have agents. so I think the goal here is to make it easy to use, and I think the LLMs um, they are providing us the way to get there, and the strategy around it. And again, it's for anyone else building apps on top. You have your own way, and there is the LLM on top of it. So as they grow and do more, they push you up.
Yeah.
But you have to build on top of them while you ride the wave, not build against them. Because
Yeah.
if you build on top of them, there are thousands of developers that are basically, for us, we woke up 2-3 weeks ago, I think I'm right, with GPT 4.0. We quickly, 48 hours turnaround, we've tested around it, and we've cut half of the time to answer by that update. And we didn't have to do a lot to win that. And then you're getting emails from clients that say, "What happened?" I said, "Well, it happened." So sharing a bit
Yeah.
more stories on it.
Yeah. And so playing in this mid-market, is that a pricing strategy or just a question of sales manpower? I mean, if a Fortune 100 company came to you, do you have are your systems robust enough to handle that large a company, or are you building it specifically for small and medium-sized businesses?
We have clients that are also 30,000 employees and above, um, and they're happy clients, and they're pioneers on AI, by the way, with us. But like I said, I think that our sweet spot is clients with employees between 250 to 5,000. I think we can play well there, and we set the right expectations. The future is the future, but I think it's not about scale. It's more around where is our focus to serve them in right customer success team and sales teams, etc.
Yeah. Is that a less crowded segment of the market?
This is a very big market. Everywhere is crowded. CSA decided to take a leap forward with AI and not to treat it as a, hey, we connected ChatGPT. No, as a
Right.
full platform that was built to support the future. And now, not only we have the first product out with our AI, that's, by the way, been sold a lot since January 1st. A lot of clients and prospects bought it. Now we're rapidly adding more and more things around it. There's like really cool stuff that you think about an agent. When people look at a ticket, there's attachments to it. People put screenshots of their issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can, with AI today, for the agent, we can already tell them without opening the attachment what is in that screenshot, and also connect it to the computer, understanding the Windows log, what is the issue and what exceptions or errors are connected from a screenshot, right? With no human touch. So I think that we're on the crisp of it. We just started.
Yeah. With the digitization of the economy, which, I'm focused on technology and artificial intelligence, but when I go out in the world, I'm kind of amazed. So many organizations are still working on very outdated systems. So as the digitization grows, presumably IT departments will grow, and there's going to be increasing demand for this kind of technology. How do you see the market developing?
It's a very good question, because IT are more solid, right? Less early adapters, these people that make sure that things are stable and working well. I'll tell you how I explain it a bit to our customers. I say a lot of people look at AI as let me know when it's ready.
Yeah.
Right? Where is this green? Like red, yellow, green. It's now in yellow. Let me know when it's green. I'll purchase it. And I say to most of them, AI is a journey. The sooner you'll start, even if you don't take it all the way to end user and you only start with agents, even if you only start with 2 agents out of 200 you have, AI is a journey. You got to start it now, and it's got to start iterating by fine-tuning, by understanding what to do to make it successful, by making sure you start right this morning to start summarizing the tickets better. Then in 2 weeks, you already now have 200 tickets that have summarization that are better. So I think this digitization is a lot about companies more and more seeing that they have to be in the game, because if they will not be there early, by the time they'll figure it out, it will be already too late, because their competitors are taking money and moving it to a more strategic places versus putting it without AI. So
yeah. And SysAid's system would be, because as a lot of these new AI, tools come into organizations, and people aren't familiar with them, there's presumably going to be an increase in tickets. Salespeople working with, classification systems that rank sales leads. So that demand will grow. Can you give us an example of sort of a use case or a customer story of someone who achieved significant results through SysAid's solutions?
Yep. One example is a client in North America that is basically in education, in the education vertical, and they've been a client of us for about 4 years, and they've purchased and connected the AI. The AI took about half an hour, did all the pre-processing, and they've started, after testing for a few days, they've started to roll out. It dropped 30% of their volume from their ticket that became AI contained, like no human touched them, while they've gotten feedback from their end user that this is a better service for them. So they were able to retool and repurpose people that used to do these tickets, and also get a higher CSAT from their customers. We see, again, because of the power of the technology, again, some of it is by our innovation of how we built it and the pre-processing and the smartness around it. But generally, not only that, we see the power of LLMs brings a fast time to value. It's just a fast. I go back, if you look at the NLP of even 3-4 years ago, it's a 6 months project to get to a place where you start to see something that's okay-ish, right?
Yeah.
So we see generally between a month or two already a significant drop in tickets that comes to agents, and of course this becomes like some sort of a live refreshed world. So you don't need to update it. One of the biggest struggles you see with clients is that they always complain that their people that they manage are not maintaining their knowledge base good enough, right?
Yeah.
So then become companies that knows how to run on knowledge base through AI and fix and see what's not updated, right? A full industry that you could build on top of something just because people don't update their knowledge base. But if they haven't done it well for 20 years, I think data shows we're just expecting something that's not going to happen fully. And AI doesn't need the knowledge base. AI use the live data to create knowledge in a way that it can serve it, and not point to some documents that
Right.
Kids of today, they wouldn't read a full 5-page PDF.
Yeah. And the ticket resolution that's AI contained is the way you're describing it, that doesn't have to go to a live agent or live IT specialist. Does how are those resolved? I mean, does SysAid it's providing answers. It's not uh, adjusting parameters in some company system to fix a bug or something. It's resolving the issue by explaining to the user, and then if something needs to be fixed, if there is a bug in some system, then it's passed to an IT agent. Is that right?
Yes and no. There's one point which it can help you understand the problem and how to resolve it. But also, we're on a crisp of a place where it will also resolve, but you need to trust it, right? The AI already today can write PowerShells to go to the computer of this user and fix some things, right?
Well,
We believe this AI journey towards AI-driven organizations the next phase is for that AI to provide the agent to say, here is how I am going to fix it. Are you okay with it? And through monitoring and doing that, at some point, it takes more and more over versus asking permission. Because there's a difference between resetting password or enabling you access to some Amazon instance, which fairly is an easy action that we can do, but to the next level, which you want to write some scripts in the network to do things for you, which are more careful. And we're using basically the agents to provide the monitoring around it before it's executed.
Yeah. What's the timeline? I mean, is that you're talking industry wide, or you're talking about SysAid, that next level of the agent?
I think it's industry wide. I think today you see more and more that it's being used, but I don't. I think people don't feel comfortable fully to let this thing execute in the network without any guarding it. That's what we're seeing. But we are seeing, as phase one, a lot more trust than there was a year or two ago. And without trust, it allows the machine to take more actions.
Right. Where do you see SysAid developing? What are the next features that you guys are looking to roll out?
Yep. First of all, in a year plus as a new CEO for a company that's been out there for about 20 years, it's always in a different podcast of what entrepreneurship means and what it means to come to a company with a DNA that already exists, right? Um, uh, my goal is to get us to be a company that has the number one platform in the world for mid-market in the world we're playing in. And we are making good moves around that area. I always say to employees, it's such a big market. The market is not going anywhere, and the competition are not waiting for anyone. And if you can understand that combination, you need to make decisions. So CISAID is trying to get to the front in a way that it is the dominant player in that massive opportunity. We're not a small company, thousands of businesses, but we want to take much bigger part of the pie. If you talk about AI, I think I talked a bit about where things are. Our next set of things we're focusing on is couple. One, we've gathered a lot of data in the last 6-7 months on live clients that have been using, some of them heavily, more, some less, and we're seeing opportunities to innovate in the world of what we call query expansions. If you know what the meaning behind it, just to explain to the audience, for example, if someone is asking, um, when can I replace my laptop, right? Some sort of, this could be a short question, but if you understand it well, to help the AI, you can use the AI to help the AI for a better question, which would be something like, I'm an employee that soon to be, because you're using data from the system, soon to be 3 years with my computers. I would like to have a new computer. and I would like to, so you can expand the query by using AI, and that would give a more accuracy around it. What we're seeing also is that there's a lot of interest from our clients how to connect the stories with the assets. Assets in the world of ITSM are devices, whether are in the cloud or physical like laptops or storage or network devices, etc. And how to connect that to the world where someone is in a need of a help and make that connection. That is pushing us towards not only having a lot more LLM within the information that these computers provide to us within the system, but also to provide an environment for it to make decisions that are smarter. So there's a lot of focus around that area, and there is this dream that some venture capitals may tell you in 20 years what are software companies, right? But I think if you think about the possibilities today, you can just start fresh and just have, hey, show me an example of ticket. From there, create automatically the categories, the verticals. Like you can just build up the system on its own just by growing it versus everything is rigid and built from day one. So we're going to see a lot about it. One more example of near future is the world of automations through seeing what's going on in the network, right? If you're seeing that there's disconnects, if you're seeing that there's a lot of asking for resources for specific Amazon instances that are more heavy compute, right? How do you notice all of that and then offer strategically to the person managing the IT? Here is what we're seeing. Here is a process that we've built for you. Click here to action it, and we think this will enable you to save another 2 weeks of your time. So I would say, again, I assume the audience is people either building things related to large language models or thinking about doing it. And so about 2 months ago, there was a company I invested in. So the two founder came for like a checkup. Again, it's a small startup, 20, 30 people. And they came for a checkup to share how they're growing and everything is going nicely. And I said, what are you doing with Gen AI? And they said, we don't, but we're planning it for Q4. And I said, anyone that's not redoing all of their roadmap towards Gen AI is actually, I don't understand what he's doing even here. So somehow we talked a lot about it and the possibilities and things to be done. And, overnight they decided, you know what, we'll bet on it. We'll change all the roadmap. And they took the 2 months and launched like a new set of tools around Gen AI, and their sales rocket, right? So I think that there's a lot of companies today or entrepreneurs that look at it and they keep looking at it, right? But if you talk about CIOs, if you talk that I talk to that use our product, or if you talk about CEOs, this is a revolution for them. This is like we're all in on it, right? Even if you talk about a BI project, in the past, what do you do with it? You gather information, you build a BI, you define which reports you want, and today it doesn't make sense to build it. It's so rigid, and eventually when you finish building it, half of it is not usable and the business moves forward. And you see Gen AI solutions today that are saying it's basically you ask a question and it provides you the graph, the chart, the table, and it's the best that you can get versus what you have today. And that's powerful. So I just, if I can use the opportunity, I would say if you are listening to this and you're not either opening a startup related to Gen AI or changing the roadmap of your company, right? You're not in the game because someone else is doing it, and he will have a lot more money to pay Google for AdWords because he's going to have less need of people to do some other things. So I thought it's an opportunity to give back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, that's a good place to end. And just as a final point, this interface is a self-serve interface, right?
Yeah.
Once you subscribe to the service, it's fairly self-explanatory about loading in your data and all of that.
Yep. You can go to sysaid.com. There's a lot of videos, product tours, a lot of stuff that you can see. You can reach out to us. We can help you if you need help. So overall, but it's fairly, all of our website have all this material for you and documentation and videos. So you could see the power of it.
By popular demand, NetSuite has extended its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program for a few more weeks. Head to netsuite.com/IonAI. That's IonAI, EYEONAI, all run together. Again, head to netsuite.com/IonAI. netsuite.com/IonAI for its one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. That's it for this episode. I want to thank Avi for his time. If you want to get a transcript to our conversation today, you can find one, as always, on our website, IonAI. That's EYE-ON.AI. In the meantime, remember, the singularity may not be near, but AI is changing our world, so pay attention.